On my journey to Northeast, I am here at Agartala, the capital city of Tripura, the third smallest state in the country after Sikkim and Goa. And right now I am here at Pushpabanta Palace, built in 1923 by Maharaja Birendra Kishore Manikya Dev Burman. This is also known as Old Raj Bhavan. The government wants to convert it into a museum of modern art and culture. And it has a history as well. Rabindranath Tagore had spent some of his time here in this palace. So let's find out what lies ahead.
Completed in 1923, the Pushpabant Palace was built by Maharaja Birendra Kishore Manikya Dev Burman Bahadur. Known as Old Raj Bhavan, this palace is built on a green hillock known as Kunjban. The palace has been constructed in an area of 1.76 hectares of land and is at a distance of 1 kilometer from Ujjanta Palace. It was used for the royal guests during royal weddings. But beyond that, Pushpabanta also has a connection with the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. Some of the writings of Tagore have been penned in this palace.
Pushpabanta Palace is under renovation, and to talk more about its association with Rabindranath Tagore, I have with me the protocol officer of Raj Bhavan, Sandeep Dev Burman. Let's talk to him. Sandeep, tell us about the association of Rabindranath Tagore with Pushpabanta Palace.
Rabindranath Tagore came in Tripura 7 times over here. First he came to Tripura to one Colonel Mohim Thakur house is there. Over there he came. After that he came most often, and he stayed in Pushpabanta Palace also, now Raj Bhavan over here, where he used to recite, write poems.
What do we call that place where he stayed and wrote part of his literature?
That place is called Thakur Varanda, we call it, where he used to sit down the whole day and write the poems and all.
Why is it so close to Ujjanta Palace?
It's close because to accommodate all the royal guests who used to come from different places, like for the weddings or some other occasion they used to come. If the Maharajas are not accommodated over there in the main palace, so the other princes and the kings used to stay over here in this palace.
So there you heard about the Pushpabanta Palace association with Rabindranath Tagore, but this is also very close to Ujjanta Palace, the home of the erstwhile royals of Tripura. Built in 1901 by British architects Martin and Burns, Ujjanta Palace is the symbol of Tripura. It was once the palace of the royals of Tripura, but today it has been opened for the general public and it is now a museum. Here you will find the history, the culture and the music of Tripura.
The Ujjanta Palace is a museum and the former palace of the Kingdom of Tripura, situated in Agartala, which is now the capital of the Indian state of Tripura. The palace stands on the banks of 2 lakes, surrounded by gardens inspired by the Mughal style. It was the home of the ruling Manikya dynasty until Tripura's merger into India in October of 1949. The palace was purchased from the royal family by the government of Tripura in 1972-73 for 2.5 million rupees and used to house the state legislative assembly until July 2011.
Every time at this Durga Puja time we visit this place. It's a mandatory place where we spend a good time with our friends, and also I come with my family also. So I will surely recommend everyone to visit this place once.
The first day of our Durga Puja, and this is the mandatory thing every year we do. Like we gather somewhere and we spend time together. And this Ujjanta place is somewhere we always go.
We have carried this legacy since our college days, and this has been an amazing experience right from the beginning. The very flora, fauna, and also our Tripura culture that needs to be carried far way to the younger generations as well. And also in this pandemic, since there are quite restrictions in traveling and other safety norms need to be followed, so we are wearing the mask as you can see and hide our makeup behind it.
They are not that happy because they have to hide their makeup, but still it's a very good opportunity for them. And they are all ambassadors of Tripura, because when they upload their pictures, people see and they would also like to come, and it's a beautiful place.
Ujjanta Palace is now a state museum. And it primarily showcases the lifestyle, arts, culture, tradition, and utility crafts of communities residing in Northeast India. Along with a lot of stone sculptures, coinage of the Manikya dynasty, and some other artifacts. A section in the museum is dedicated to the liberation of Bangladesh and how Indian armed forces fought against Pakistan. The dedicated gallery highlights the War of 1971 between India and Pakistan from the 3rd of December 1971 to the fall of Dhaka on the 16th of December 1971. The war began with preemptive aerial strikes on 11 Indian air stations, which led to the commencement of hostilities with Pakistan and India's entry into the War of Independence in East Pakistan on the side of the Bengali nationalist forces. Lasting just 13 days, it is one of the shortest wars in history.
Tripura had 184 kings inside the Ujjanta Palace. I have reached the Royal Gallery, and as you can see, all these giant portraits of the former royals of Tripura. Tripura has an interesting history, and to talk more about that, I have with me the former Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Tripura, Professor Arunoday Saha. Sir, you've written a book on the royals of Tripura. So tell us about your book first.
The name of the book is Raja U Kobi. Raja king, Kobi means poet. The Vishwa Kobi, Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath came 7 times over here, and he had very intimate and affectionate relation with our kings. Birchandra Manikyam, during his time, he first interacted with him. And Birchandra, the king Birchandra, was his father-like figure. Birchandra treated him as his son.
Rabindranath Tagore.
Rabindranath Tagore, because by age gap and all that, he as good as his son. And then he expired. Radhakishore Manikya, son of Birchandra, they are of same age, so they were friends. The relationship was friendly. And then finally, the relationship between kings and the poet Raja U Kobi culminated in the intimate relationship with Maharaja Bir Bikram. When Rabindranath Tagore was about 80 years old, the last stage, Maharaja Bir Bikram went himself to Santiniketan to award him Bharat Bhaskar, the program which was organized in Santiniketan in West Bengal. He himself went and with all the gifts and all that and gave him this Bharat Bhaskar Upadhi. And in response to that, Rabindranath said, when nobody knew me, nobody recognized me, Maharaja Birchandra found in me the potentials, the talent. And then, at the end of my life, the last recognition came from Agartala, Tripura, by his own great-grandson. So life was complete. And that is why he, came here a couple of times, 7 times. When he was constructing Vishwabharati, the university, he received a lot of support, financial, other resources from our royal family. So that way,
This is something very interesting. The Vishwa Bharati that we know, the world knows today, has a great contribution from the former royals of Tripura. Sir, now coming back to the Nobel laureate, which we all call Vishwa Kavi, can you tell us something about the writings that he actually scripted here during his stay?
Yes. Actually, there is a very famous, drama, Visarjan, was written based on the story of Tripura. Outline of the story he got from the royal family. At Agartala, right now we have the capital, but earlier it was in Udaipur. And the story started from there. That story was made universal by our Nobel laureate poet Rabindranath Tagore. Not only that, he wrote beautiful poems and the songs, Rabindra Sangeet.
Then came the architect of modern Tripura, Maharaja Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya. There you see the colorful portrait beautifully displayed. Tell us something more about him and how he converted Tripura from a tribal state to a modern state.
He had the vision. He went to Europe and then he went to America. He met Roosevelt, he met all dignitaries of those times. Then he came back and he asked, I like to reconstruct our Tripura following the development, advancement already taken in Europe. So this building, this Ujjanta Prasad, this palace is there. This is Ujjanta Palace. There is another Pushpavanta Palace, very near. And there is Neer Mahal. Neer Mahal is, water palace.
So talking about Neer Mahal, I come from Jaipur and Neer Mahal, we have Jal Mahal there. So tell us about a relationship of the former royals of Tripura with other states.
Right. When prince is going to marry, for him, there is no princess in the state. So they went to other provinces of India.
Starting off with Rajasthan.
Rajasthan, yes. Our kings were married to the daughters of the kings of other places, Rajasthan, not only Rajasthan, Nepal, Manipur, because they had to find out bride from other places. And our daughters, daughters of the royal family, were married to other places.
And even Madhya Pradesh.
Oh yes, Panna, our Kanchan Prabha, the wife of Maharaja Bir Bikram, came from Panna. Gwalior, Scindia family. Our royal family were all intimately connected with all the royal families.
There you see the princes from other states. From here, we'll talk about the Burmans, the legendary Sachin Dev and Rahul Dev Burman.
Popularly known as S.D. Burman in Bollywood, Sachin Dev Burman was a member of the Tripura royal family. Born in Kumilla, now in Bangladesh, on October 1st, 1906, S.T. Burman learned his music from his father in his childhood. He started his career with Bengali films in 1937 and became one of the most successful and influential Bollywood film music composers. Burman composed the soundtracks of over 100 movies, including Bengali films and Hindi. Apart from being a versatile composer, he also sang songs in the light, classical and folk style of Bengal. His son R.D. Burman was also a celebrated music composer for Bollywood films.
Ujinta Palace also presents platform to the local artists and also artists of repute. And what a place to present your art.
From Agartala, now let's go to Unakoti.
I'm here at the Agartala airport and today I'm taking you to Ajanta Ellora. Surprised? Not to be, because I'm going to tell you how Ajanta Ellora are there in Tripura. But before that, we'll go in the chopper and I have with me pilot VVS Subbarao. Mr. Rao, how is going to be the flight?
It takes about 30 minutes and we are going to fly at 2,500 feet and it's easy to, very accessible by going helicopter from Agartala to Kailashar where we are going.
Okay, and what are you going to show us on the way?
On the way I'll show you the railway track which goes through a tunnel. That's very impressive before Mepar. That one, and thereafter it's a lot of greenery and the cultivation lands are there and small hills are there before that. And when we are going, left hand side is a Bangladesh, which you may not be able to see because of the visibility, otherwise it's a clear.
Before reaching Ajanta and Ellora of Tripura, we have landed at Kailash Shahar. Kailash, as the name suggests, has a connection with Lord Shiva. It's a 20-kilometer drive, so let's go and enjoy the drive. From Kailash Shahar, we have reached here at the Ajanta Ellora of Tripura. I told you not to be surprised because I'm going to show you how it is Ajanta and Ellora of Tripura. Come with me. Behind me on this rock you can see image of Lord Shiva. But why is it called Ajanta Ellora of Tripura? For that I have with me the Special Secretary of Culture Department of Tripura government, Mr. Abhishek Chandra. Let's talk to him. Why Ajanta Ellora and that too in Tripura?
This is one of the few great sites in Tripura wherein the people of Tripura remember this place as Unakoti, that's one less of 1 crore. This place has been excavated in the 7th and the 8th century. There are two mythologies that are going concurrently. One of the mythologies says that Lord Shiva had come with all gods here, and it is one of the most scenic beauties that are there in this hill district of Tripura. They just fell in love with this place and they just said that let's spend a night here. Lord Shiva had remarked that we should not be seen by the mortals, and if we are seen by them, it would be very bad that we as gods are also coming to their place. Accordingly, they decided to go before the first light of the sun rays hits the earth on this part of the country. But they didn't realize it that in northeast the sun rises very early in the morning, and they didn't get up in time. Unfortunately, Lord Shivji got really upset, and he converted with his third eye. He just opened it up, and he converted everybody into rock-cut figurines. And there are 7 such hills where you'll see that there have been figurines of different gods that are there. And these are 1 crore, approximately 1 crore gods on similar lines that have been carved out and made. That is what this mythology is all about.
It is said that this place was found in 7th to 8th century. And as you can see, it has an amalgamation of Dravid, Buddhist and the tribal culture.
If you see the images, the pattern, the features of God and goddesses here, actually you see the Lord Shiva, the image appears to be the meditating Buddha. And the face, the designs, the flat nose, generally the local tribal features. And moreover, you see if you inspect, if you see all the images properly, they have some mark, local tribal mark. Just can I see this, the poem? They have portrayed something to reflect their engagement to create this creation. Lord Shiva is a Dravid god. Many historians say that in ethnic Myanmar, there was one ethnic group, Mon Khmer. They were the first ethnic groups who absorbed Buddhism under the sun, first. The present Myanmar, in the year of 1849 BC, they invaded the area, and after that, due to invasion, they left. Some of them left to Cambodia, Southeast Cambodia, and some of them came to the Kailasha Manu River, and they had a good relation with the Dravidian people. So if you see this Ongurba temple and you see the pattern, it seems that they have a good connection with this creation.
In the next episode, we shall take you on a speedboat ride to Narikal Kunj and a trip to the Amazon of Tripura.